Hello to you, my faithful 200,000 subscribers. Oh, 100,000. I asked for your questions for my Q&A video for reaching 100,000 subs. I asked on Facebook and Twitter, and you guys gave me loads of questions, and I'm going to be answering them for you today. I picked about 25. Borderlands 2 is currently playing in the background. Necromancer is my favourite class, in case that wasn't obvious. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Borderlands 2. Let's get down to the questions! Okay, question 1. Yasmin asks, "Hey Zoe, I'm a huge fan. I'd like to know why you started making YouTube videos, and what you hope to achieve at the end of it all." Okay, way back in like June, I think, of this year, the YOGSCAST did a Crown Conquest Survival Minecraft series, and Rivian needed a partner for it. And I had been hanging around with the guys on Vent for a while, and I had been in, a couple of videos as brief, tiny little appearances. And Rivian was like, "Hey, be my partner." And I was like, "Okay." And so I did it, and I got some kind of mixed reactions, but lots of people did like me, and that was really cool. So then Rivian took it further and asked to do a Tekkit series with him, and that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. That was amazing. Just seeing like the reactions of people in the comments, and just seeing people that genuinely got entertained by me and were made happier and like enjoyed it, that like struck a chord in my heart. That sounds really cheesy, but like basically I started making these videos solo because I saw that reaction, and I wanted to give that reaction to more people. I wanted to make more people happier. I wanted more people to enjoy the videos, so that's my goal. Okay, and Egladrim, I want to apologise for any names that I mangle horribly as I'm reading out your questions. I'm not great at pronouncing words. So you ask, what are your plans for the YouTube channel? What games are you going to play in the future? I really enjoyed your video so far. It has to be one of the most heartwarming stuff out there, so I'm really looking forward to some more. Thank you. My plans for the YouTube channel are to keep on doing what I'm doing in regards to mods. Like, I've got more Half-Life 2 mods planned once I finish Riot Act. Might go back to Nightmare House. And there's a mod called Research and Development, which is like Portal, but in the Half-Life 2 universe. Which is Portal, but you know what I mean. And then I want to do more mods expanded to other games. So I'd love... my favourite game is Fallout New Vegas, so I'd love to do a modded playthrough of that. And then similar games like Skyrim, maybe, and Stalker would be cool. And then in regards to like Scribblenauts, I always want a series going that's like all about cute, happy, just entertaining videos that are just really fun. So I'll always be doing those. Edmund asks, "Dear Zoe, what's your favourite animal?" My favourite animal is probably the platypus, because it's like the scrapped leftover parts of every other animal. So it's basically like a cyborg, but organic. So, an org. And yeah, so it's got like a duck bill, and it's got like a beaver tail, and it's got like poison arms for some reason, and it lays eggs, even though it's a mammal. It's the best animal in the world, basically. Matthew Parker asks, "What got you into gaming? And what's the first game you remember playing?" Smiley face. Okay. I grew up in the 90s, so we were like, my family were kind of behind the times in regards to video games. My dad I think had played video games before I sort of came into the world. So one day randomly, when I was about 5, he brought home like this really old Atari ST from like the 80s. And I played it, like it was a computer, and it just had text adventures. It had like Zork and stuff like that. So my first game was basically Zork, even though that was out like 20 years before, no, 10 years, old. What? So yeah, like, I was playing Zork like way ahead of when I should have actually been playing it. So that was really fun. That was like, that sort of triggered my gaming and my sense of humor and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then we moved on to a Mega Drive, or you may know it as a Genesis. And we played games like Sonic the Hedgehog, ToeJam and Earl, and Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage. Like, just games as I was growing up. Even though by this time, like, the Dreamcast was out or something, I think. Me and my dad were playing like these old Mega Drive games together, and that was really cool. You know, that got me hooked on the multiplayer side of games. And then my dad brought home a Philips CDI, and that wasn't the best thing. I played Hotel Mario. That was the only console and the only game I had for like 2 years. That was terrible. But then I got a GameCube, which was about 2 years late. And then I caught up and got a Wii. And after the GameCube, I started playing PC games as well, and I got into like World of Warcraft and stuff. So Nintendo is pretty much what I did as a teenager, and Sega was what I did as like a kid, and Zork was what I did when I was a toddler for some reason. So there you go. And Chloe asks, if you had a superpower, what would it be? I want to be a shapeshifter. But not just like shapeshifter, turn into animals, you know, that's kind of boring. I'd want to be able to shapeshift into anything and be anything whenever I wanted. That would be awesome. So like one day I could be a fridge, and then the next day I could be like, I could be a platypus and live out that. That would be awesome. And then I could be a spaceship and go to Mars and then find out what the aliens look like, and then come back to Earth and like shapeshift into an alien, and then be like, ooh, an alien, and I'd be like, nah, JK, it's me. Or something, I don't know. So that would just be a fun superpower to just mess about with, and it wouldn't hurt anyone. So that's fine. Okay, and the next question is asked by either Kaomi or Kiva. I don't know how you pronounce the name. It's one of those two, I'm sure. When you were younger, what job did you want to have when you were older? I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to draw. I wanted to draw cartoons. I wanted to be an animator, actually. Animator is what I wanted to be. That's the official job title, I suppose. And then, but really, like, now that I'm older, I realize that I just want to do anything that's creative. I still want to do art. I still do art now and then, but that's more of a hobby now. I think if I was, like, getting paid to do art, that would turn it into, you know, I'd be thinking about making the art for other people instead of making the art for myself. And Alyssa asks, how did I get into art? I have never taken an art lesson in my life. I've never studied art. I have no idea how I'm actually supposed to, air quotes, do art. And so when I was a kid, I don't know, I guess like your parents always just try and give you stuff and try and figure out what your hobby is. And like as soon as I got a pen and paper, it just well, I guess it was a pencil and paper. Crayons and paper, actually, I suppose. Crayons and paper, it just clicked. And then my birthday presents were just like how to draw books, and so watching like The Simpsons and watching like Ren and Stimpy and stuff, like it just clicked. I just knew that was something cool and that I wanted to do. And now Oscar asks, Oscar says, if you could redesign something in the world, anything at all, like a building, or the colour of rabbits, or the molecular structure of potatoes, what would it be? I would love if there was a power source, a way of generating power that didn't damage the landscape, didn't harm the air, like damage the pollution, I guess, didn't hurt anyone, didn't cause like fighting over it, like something like solar power, you know, something that's just there, but something a bit more viable than solar power that can power like machines and stuff. Like cars. I don't know if you can have solar power cars. I guess they wouldn't really be able to drive at night. So yeah, something like solar power, but that would work all the time, and that would be like the only power source, and so people wouldn't be drilling into the earth and stuff. That would be cool. And Charlotte asks, if you could travel and live anywhere in the world, where would you choose? My time on Wikipedia is spent looking up places in the world that are untouched by like modern technology and stuff. I love, I think it's called Sentinel Island in Indonesia somewhere, which is an island of humans that have literally like never been touched and never like communicated and never traveled out of their island. And any attempt to communicate with them has resulted in them like shooting down helicopters with bow and arrows and stuff. It's really cool. So obviously I wouldn't want to travel there and invade on their society and possibly like spread diseases and stuff to them. But if I could somehow observe them without them knowing I was there, just for like a day, I think that would be really cool. I mean, in terms of living somewhere, I've always wanted to spend like a month in Australia. I think Australia is a really beautiful country, even though I've never been there. It just seems like it would be a cool place to go, although slightly dangerous. But yeah, Australia and Sentinel Island. Lauren? Sorry. I love all of your little Easter eggs that you put into your ticket vids, such as Homestar Runner stuff, etc. What is your favourite one, or one that you don't think anyone has noticed? The whole of the Barry Labs, well, not the whole of it, but like the whole first part is a massive reference to Half-Life. Obviously, I say to a mushroom, Gordon, they're waiting for you in the test chamber. And then also up above, through the window, you can see a mushroom going by on a cart on a rail. And if you look into that further, there is a door with a mushroom that's locked outside. That mushroom, although I don't think I reference him, is called Barney, and he's knocking on the door because he locked himself out, which is a reference to the intro to Half-Life 1. Yeah, that's it. I also love all the monitors that I did on Mushnet. Those are always fun, but I think you all know about those and how silly some of those are. Andrew, would you like to work at Yog Towers? And if yes, who would you get on most with, given everyone else was also there? First of all, yes, obviously, I would love to work at Yog Towers. It is a bit difficult working from home and trying to do anytime I want to do collaborations and stuff. So that'd be cool. And then the person who obviously I'll get on with Hannah and Minty. We could just go into the cafe and just chat about the boys. I'm kidding, that's terrible. I'd probably get on most with Sips or Nilesy, I think. Nilesy, like I identify a lot with in terms of like troubles we face and stuff. I think that would be really cool. We can like overcome our troubles together and be an unstoppable duo. And Sips is just like amazing. Sips is great. But each and every one of them is great in their own way, you know. That sounds incredibly cheesy, but it's true. And Damien says, can you give us a hint of what will happen next on the Tekkit series? Maybe something to do with Rithian. Basically, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try my hardest to get back to Blackrock and defuse that nuke. I will not let all the mushrooms and all the golems and all the wolves and stuff explode. I'm going to do my best to make sure that does not happen. And as for Rithian, I think we learn some new talents, and we learn the I don't know what I'm saying. We learn the spirit of Christmas, and we learn that love is more important than war. That's terrible. Cut that. Okay, and Michael asks, your top 5 games of all time. Go! Whoa, you put me under pressure there, Michael. Oh crikey. Fallout New Vegas. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Day of the Tentacle. Toe Jam and Earl. And Pokemon. I can't think of a specific Pokemon. I'm going to say Pokemon Black and White too. Those are the best Pokemon games. So yeah, that's my top 5. I could give a reason. Shall I give a reason? I'll give a reason for all of them. Fallout New Vegas is just an amazing story, an amazing sandbox open world RPG. You can just do anything. It's amazing, and I love the setting as well. Castlevania, Metroidvanias, I think that's what they're called, is my favourite genre. And Castlevania is just like the epitome of that. Day of the Tentacle was like my first point-and-click adventure game. It's just, I mean, there's not really anything wrong with that. You know, another good contender for that would be Sam and Max Hit the Road. But Day of the Tentacle is my favourite. Toe Jam and Earl, like I said, I used to play that with my dad, and that's just a game that has really good memories attached to it. You know, that just makes me that just makes me always remember why I enjoy video games. What was the other one I said? Oh, Pokemon. I mean, you know, who doesn't love Pokemon? Okay, quite a few people don't like Pokemon. But Pokemon is just pure fun as well, so that's fun. I have many more of your questions to answer, but that would be a ginormous video, so I'm going to cut it in half here. And look forward to part 2 of Zoey's Q&A coming soon to a YouTube near you. This one, it's coming to this one. This one is the one near you. Bye.